Have you ever wondered what would happen if a cheetah and a baboon crossed paths in the wild? At first glance, the answer might seem obvious. One is the fastest land animal, a skilled predator built for speed. The other is a clever, aggressive primate with surprising strength. But in nature, things aren't always as simple as they seem. In this battle for survival, raw speed meets intelligence, agility clashes with brute strength, and the line between hunter and hunted begins to blur. Could a cheetah take down a baboon? Or would the baboon turn the tables in an unexpected way? Stay with me until the end, and you'll discover the surprising truth about which of these animals holds the real advantage. Let's dive in. Evolution and history. Baboons. These resilient primates emerged 2 million years ago, descendants of arboreal ancestors who traded forests for savannas. Their flat, grinding molars evolved to process everything from figs to scorpions, while their dexterous hands became tools for digging and grooming. Fossil records in South Africa's Sterkfontein caves reveal baboons outlived hominid relatives like Australopithecus, adapting as climate shifts turned jungles to grasslands. We explore the 6 recognized baboon species, each a master of survival in its own right. Olive baboon, Papio anubis. The olive baboon, named for its greenish-gray coat, is the most widespread baboon species. Adults stand 50 to 70 centimeters tall and weigh up to 50 kilograms, with males sporting a distinctive cape of shaggier fur. Found across 25 African nations, from Mali to Ethiopia, they thrive in savannas, forests, and even urban fringes, with populations estimated at 100,000 to 150,000. Their robust limbs and dexterous hands enable swift quadrupedal movement and adept climbing. Genetic studies reveal a close kinship with yellow and hamadryas baboons, but P. anubis boasts unique adaptations, including resistance to certain savanna-borne parasites. Females give birth after a 180-day gestation, with infants clinging to their mothers' bellies for weeks. Though resilient, olive baboons face habitat fragmentation and retaliatory killings by farmers. Conservationists promote coexistence programs, such as Kenya's Baboon Guardians, which train locals to manage troops without violence. Yellow baboon. The golden-furred yellow baboon, slightly smaller than its olive cousin, roams the acacia woodlands of East Africa, from Tanzania's Serengeti to Zambia's Luangwa Valley. Weighing up to 35 kilograms, these primates are recognized by their elongated limbs and black-lined faces. Their DNA diverged from olive baboons roughly 1.5 million years ago, a split marked by adaptations to drier climates. Yellow baboons travel in troops of 20 to 200, foraging for seeds and insects with methodical precision. Females birth a single offspring after 170 days. Infant mortality is high, up to 50%, due to predation by leopards and raptors. Urban expansion threatens their corridors, but protected areas like Ruaha National Park serve as critical refuges. Chakma baboon, Papio ursinus. Africa's largest and southernmost baboon, the chakma, inhabits regions from Angola to South Africa, including Cape Town's Table Mountain. Males can reach 120 centimeters in length and 40 kilograms, with dark brown fur and a pronounced downward-sloping muzzle. Chakmas are exceptional swimmers, occasionally diving into rivers to escape predators. Genetic isolation has endowed them with a longer gestation period, 187 days, and higher infant survival rates. Their famed intelligence is evident in tool use, such as using stones to dig for tubers. Yet human conflict looms. Electrocution on power lines and illegal baboon hunting tours plague troops. Organizations like the Baboon Matters Trust advocate for electric fencing and education to reduce casualties. Guinea baboon, the Guinea baboon, cloaked in reddish-brown fur and a hairless violet-hued face, is the West African enigma. Smaller, 25 kilograms, and less studied, they inhabit Senegal's Niokolo-Koba National Park and Guinea's Fouta Djallon Highlands, with fewer than 10,000 remaining. Unlike other baboons, Guinea troops practice a multi-level society, blending smaller groups into temporary super troops. Genetic markers suggest a divergence 2 million years ago, possibly linked to West Africa's unique ecosystems. Poaching for bushmeat and habitat loss from palm oil plantations have pushed them to endangered status. The IUCN's Guinea Baboon Conservation Project uses satellite collars to track movements and lobby for protected corridors. Hamadryas baboon. The Hamadryas, or sacred baboon, revered in ancient Egypt, inhabits the rocky cliffs of Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Saudi Arabia. Males are silver-maned behemoths, 70 centimeters tall, 30 kilograms, while females are brown and half their size. Their DNA reveals adaptations to arid environments, including water-efficient kidneys. Hamadryas societies are strictly hierarchical, with males herding harems of females, a structure unique among baboons. Gestation lasts 6 months, and infants are weaned at a year. Droughts and overgrazing in the Horn of Africa threaten their survival, but Ethiopia's Simien Mountains National Park offers a stronghold. Kunda baboon. The petite Kunda baboon, often overshadowed by its larger relatives, inhabits Zambia's Mayombo woodlands and Angola's highlands. Weighing just 15 to 18 kilograms, with a tawny coat and delicate features, they hybridize with chacmas where ranges overlap. Genetic studies highlight a divergent lineage dating back 700,000 years, adapted to frugivorous diets. Kunda troops are unusually peaceful, with minimal aggression. Bushmeat hunting and deforestation have caused localized declines. But Zambia's Kafue National Park remains a sanctuary. If we look to the other side, our eyes fall on the cheetah. Cheetah, their lineage stretches back 4 million years to Miracinonyx, a North American mountain cheetah. Modern cheetahs, Acinonyx jubatus, migrated to Africa 100,000 years ago, surviving a genetic bottleneck that left them with 95% less diversity than other big cats. Ancient Egyptians revered them as symbols of royalty, often depicted leashed in hieroglyphs. Yet today, their numbers have plummeted from 100,000 in 1900 to just 7,100. The cheetah, Earth's fastest land animal, is a masterpiece of evolution, a blur of spotted gold streaking across Africa's savannas and Iran's arid plains. Yet this iconic sprinter, capable of accelerating from 0 to 60 miles per hour in seconds, is running a desperate race against extinction, with only 4 recognized subspecies clinging to fragmented habitats. Each population tells a story of adaptation, fragility, and resilience. Southeast African cheetah. The Southeast African cheetah, the most numerous and genetically diverse subspecies, epitomizes the classic image of the species. A sleek golden coat adorned with solid black spots, tear-marked face, 1.1 to 1.4 meters long, 35 to 65 kilograms, ranging across Namibia, Botswana, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. This subspecies thrives in open grasslands, with an estimated 4,000 to 5,000 individuals. Built for explosive speed, its semi-retractable claws act like cleats, while a flexible spine and oversized nasal passages maximize oxygen intake during 70-mile-per-hour sprints. Genetically distinct from northern relatives, it exhibits higher diversity, aiding resilience. Females give birth to 3 to 5 cubs after 93 days, though 90% perish before adulthood due to lions, hyenas, and human threats. Habitat loss and conflict with ranchers are critical issues, but Namibia's Cheetah Conservation Fund pioneers livestock guard dogs and education to reduce killings, stabilizing populations in key areas. Asiatic cheetah. The Asiatic cheetah, a ghost of its former self, survives only in Iran's Dashti Kavir desert, with fewer than 50 individuals left. Smaller and paler than African cousins, its buff-colored fur and faintly marked face blend into arid landscapes. Once roaming from India to Arabia, it now faces extinction due to poaching, road accidents, and prey depletion. Genetic studies reveal severe inbreeding, a legacy of its isolation since the 1950s. Females rear cubs in rocky outcrops, but fewer than 1/3 reach independence. Iran's conservation of the Asiatic cheetah project combats threats with camera traps, anti-poaching units, and community engagement, yet drought and mining encroachment persist. This subspecies survival hinges on global support and habitat restoration. Northeast African cheetah. In the rugged terrains of Sudan, Ethiopia, and Somalia, the Northeast African cheetah prowls, a leaner, taller subspecies with a shorter coat and fewer spots. Adapted to semi-desert conditions, its lighter build, 30 to 45 kilograms, conserves energy in extreme heat. Population estimates are nebulous, likely under 1,000, due to political instability and poaching for the illegal pet trade. Genetic markers show divergence from southern cheetahs 32,000 years ago, coinciding with the Sahara's expansion. Females here face added pressures. Pastoralists often kill mothers to capture cubs for sale. Conservationists like the Cheetah Conservation Initiative in Ethiopia work to rehabilitate confiscated cubs, but civil unrest and limited funding stall progress. Northwest African cheetah. The Northwest African cheetah, or Saharan cheetah, is the rarest and most enigmatic. Smaller and paler, with nearly white fur and barely visible spots, it slinks through the Sahel's deserts in Mali, Niger, and Algeria. Fewer than 250 remain, their DNA reflecting ancient adaptation to hyper-arid climates. Unlike other cheetahs, they hunt at night to avoid scorching daytime temperatures. With vast home ranges, up to 3,000 square kilometers, they struggle as droughts and overgrazing deplete prey. Organizations like the Sahara Conservation Fund use camera traps to monitor these elusive cats, while advocating for transboundary protected areas. Yet, armed conflicts and poverty-driven poaching threaten to silence their silent sprint. Rare fact, cheetahs' semi-retractable claws function like cleats, while baboons' ischial calluses, sitting pads, let them sleep upright on thorny branches. The social code, behavior and interactions. Baboon troops, hierarchies rule. Alpha males, identified by silvery manes, monopolize mates but depend on females. Kin-based alliances that outlast male tenures. Grooming isn't hygiene, it's currency. A 2023 science study found baboons trade grooming for coalition support during fights. Cheetah solitude. Females raise cubs alone, teaching hunting via live gazelle practice. Males form lifelong coalitions of 2 to 3, often brothers. Unlike lions, they avoid conflict. A single kick from a zebra can be fatal. Bizarre behavior. Baboons kidnap puppies from African wild dogs, possibly to manipulate pack movements. Cheetahs chirp like birds, a trait confusing researchers until infrared cameras revealed its use to summon cubs. The global landscape, where they stand today. Cheetahs now occupy just 9% of their historic range. Namibia hosts the largest population, 1,500, but 77% live outside protected areas, clashing with livestock farmers. Iran's Asiatic cheetahs number fewer than 30. Baboons. Thriving? Not quite. Though IUCN lists them as least concern, habitat fragmentation forces troops into human territories. In Saudi Arabia, baboons raid garbage, spreading disease. Conservation wins. Cheetah Conservation Fund's livestock guarding dog program reduced farmer-cheetah conflict by 80%. For baboons, Uganda's Baboon Tourist Watch educates visitors to curb feeding-induced aggression. Death and decline. The vanishing legacy. Cheetahs. 90% of cubs die before 3 months. Lion predation, malnutrition. Adults face wire snares and retaliatory killings. Loss of genetic diversity makes them vulnerable to disease. A single pandemic could decimate populations. Baboons. Hunted for bushmeat and traditional medicine, their bones are ground into strength potions. Yet their decline could destabilize ecosystems. As seed dispersers, they're critical for acacia regeneration. Echoes of extinction. If cheetahs vanish, mesopredators like jackals may surge, overhunting small mammals. Baboon overpopulation could strip landscapes bare, as seen in Ethiopia's Simien Mountains. The business of survival, economics and trade. Cheetahs. A live cub sells for $10,000 on the Gulf black market. Skins resurface in luxury markets dyed as leopard fakes. Yet ecotourism generates $13 billion annually in Africa. Wildlife safaris are their lifeline. Baboons. Biomedical labs pay $3,000 for individuals used in hepatitis research. Illegally traded as pets, infants often die in transit from stress-induced diarrhea. Legal loopholes. UAE law permits cheetah ownership with permits rarely enforced. Conversely, Botswana's Wildlife Act mandates 10-year sentences for baboon trafficking. At the end of the day, both animals are survivors in their own way. The cheetah relies on speed and precision, while the baboon uses intelligence and teamwork. Their battles in the wild are rare, but when they do happen, the outcome depends on the circumstances. So what do you think? Would you put your bet on the cheetah's deadly speed or the baboon's brute strength and strategy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe for more thrilling animal battles.